What is up, everyone? Welcome to part 5 of Against All Odds. This comes from Winning 11 in the Discord server, Winning 1149. If you're having any trouble with Shogun 2 or Fall of the Samurai, just hop on into the Discord server and we'll try to fix it. We'll try to crack your save file and give you your campaign back, and I get to make a video out of it. We have an Otomo army of very high experience Yari Ashigaru and Otomo Matchlock Ashigaru with a stand and fight general against two Ikko stacks that luckily don't have a general. Plenty of light cavalry, some Boronin with improved accuracy, and surprisingly quite a few Naginata warrior monks. I don't normally see warrior monks from the Ikko Ikki. It's not that common, ironically.
My lord! A glorious victory will soon be yours!
What is up, everyone? It is me from the future. After I was not satisfied with my war slaughter attempt, it was a tough decision to make. The once in the blue moon that you get that trait, so I decided to go with the more optimal option, my bestest attempt. This was a very difficult battle. It's basically a hard counter. This army composition that the AI has is a hard counter to our own. We lack cavalry outside of the general, who has stand and fight, so we're not even going to be using him to run. We're not even going to be using him to flank. We don't even have any good offensive infantry. No katana samurai aside from the samurai retainers. We're gonna get chewed by bows. If we just sit and try and be defensive, we're just gonna get chewed by bows. At the same time, they also have high morale units. This is the Ikko Ikki. You have large, high morale units, so it's the perfect kind of storm when you're fighting a gun-reliant army. Not high quality units, high morale units, high morale Ikko Yari Ashigaru with experience, mountains of experience, and then Naginata warrior monks as well. It's pretty much stacked against us. The only way this could have been worse is if they had a general and any of their armies, but since they don't, that means once we knock out units, they're gonna be knocked out for good. And if you've watched my pike and shot video or any of my videos where I use guns, you'll understand what formation I'm going for. I'm placing matchlock infantry outside the walls because there's not enough space on the walls to present all my guns. So I'm placing them outside the walls with Yari Ashigaru in Yari wall in front of them. Because the moment I start the battle, we're gonna have cavalry. We're gonna have a horde of cavalry charging us down, trying to go for the guns. And we need Yari Ashigaru to guard our guns. And I'm also debating on what to do with these Yari Ashigaru. I already have my matchlocks properly protected, so I'm placing whatever is left into a sort of offensive force. These Yari Ashigaru are gonna run after the bows once the melee is joined, because I don't want to use my defensive Yari Ashigaru to attack bows, leaving my matchlocks unexposed, because we're gonna have some more cavalry coming in from the second stack. I simply cannot afford to leave any guns unguarded. They need to be guarded for the entirety of the battle. So I need to differentiate some Yari Ashigaru, offensive Yari Ashigaru from defensive Yari Ashigaru, placing the general outside to take advantage of stand and fight. Stand and fight is essential because guns are gonna be causing friendly fire to my Yari Ashigaru. I need to ensure that their morale is properly supported so that they don't break. I cannot have my main line breaking and then my guns left completely unexposed. That would be completely exposed. That would be very disastrous. And it's also important that the Yari Ashigaru have experience here, because again, same thing. It's gonna ensure that they stand their ground for as long as possible. I'm also ignoring the Boronin on the left side of the screen. That's the thing, when you're facing bows, you can ignore some of them and take out their melee units, focus on their melee units. So I chose to completely ignore those Boar Ronin and let them close in on the fort. Eventually they're gonna run into range of my guns. They're opening fire on some Yari Ashigaru, but I pulled them out of Yari wall. Any Yari Ashigaru that aren't caught in a fight with cavalry or melee infantry are getting pulled out of Yari wall to reduce the amount of damage they're taking from arrows and fire arrows.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
We've already routed a bunch of cavalry units, shattered. They're out of the fight. And I'm pondering on what to do with some of my free units. I'm sending out the offensive Yari Ashigaru now, since the lines that have clashed and their melee units have been committed. Here we have 3 Boar Ronin that are walking in range of the Matchlock Ashigaru on the walls. Excellent. That's the thing that you can do to counter bow infantry spam. AI bow units will be very reluctant to switch targets, so you can have them target one of your units and then pull that unit away. That'll pull the Boar Ronin forward, tempt them to advance, which will pull them into range of your guns. That's the way you can counter the range disadvantage that guns have against bows. Taking some aggro against Boar Ronin, it's never pretty. It's always painful to watch units get mowed down by archers while they're running at them. And we also don't have a terrain advantage. We're going to be fighting Boar Ronin on level ground, and they're quite resilient in the melee. But we managed to rout most of the first stack. We now have units from the second stack coming up the hill. The terrain on this map is really helping because it's slowing down the enemy reinforcements. It's preventing them from linking up. Light cavalry coming in, trying to go for guns, but they're going to get skewered on the Yari wall. And this melee is lasting forever. There's Ikko Bow Ashigaru that are lasting forever in melee because they have 7 or 8 experience. And there's so many units to manage as well that it's kind of a mess. I'll micro them properly and get them to where they can have an effect on the fight. Because I don't want to have guns standing idly. I want to make sure my guns are firing for as long as possible. All of my guns are firing. Presenting them all with targets for as long as possible. And still, this Bow Ashigaru, finally they just managed to they just shattered. After losing 2/3 of their men. Here's a mistake. So I failed in my whole plan of keeping my guns, ensuring my guns are consistently protected. That was a lapse in my decision making. That light cavalry managed to get past, but thankfully it's not going to be too disastrous. They're gonna shatter in short order, and I need to pull the Yari Ashigaru back to intercept this lone sword unit before it contacts the guns. But they're probably gonna break before they even have a chance. We're having units get stuck on the Yari walls and instantly shattered the moment they make contact with my line as guns are unloading onto them. We have some archers unfortunately targeting my guns. But already we're doing much better than the previous attempt that you saw on the clip beforehand. I'm not gonna get me some more slaughter traits, some more slaughter traits, so yeah, it's a shame, but this is more optimal gameplay. Yeah, the Boar Ronin closing in and some lone swords. Charging down the hill now, taking the initiative since they don't have that many melee infantry. That much melee infantry to challenge my Yari Ashigaru. The lone sword switched targets and exposed its rear to my samurai retainers, and they're already wavering. We have units getting pinned on Yari walls, getting struck in the flank and rear by samurai retainers, and then having guns fire on them. Nothing, even with all their experience, nothing can last long against that combination. But the balance of power is still just barely in our favor after all the progress we've made. And you're gonna see you're gonna see me get a little bit surprised by what happens next. And here it is, a horde of Naginata monks. That's mostly Naginata monks in that blob, and some high experience Yari Ashigaru. Finally joining in on the fight, and I'm scrambling to get a Yari wall set up. I'm scrambling to get a pike and shot formation up to guard my general and to intercept all those units. We're gonna have a pike and shot formation, supported by stand and fight, and supported by more guns on the walls. Gonna have overlapping zones of fire. This whole battle, that's been a consistent theme this whole battle. Getting as many guns onto enemy units, overlapping zones of fire, maximizing firepower. Doing whatever we can to turn this matchup on its head. This hard counter matchup is being turned in our favor. We still have most of our units. And a lot of them are still in decent health, are still in the yellow. Now we have the army losses penalty. Naginata warrior monks not having any impact on the battle. Not routing before they could even participate in the melee. Of course, I can't just let them run from the battlefield and survive to fight another day. I'm gonna have to finish these men off. I'm gonna have to intercept them. I know how their pathfinding is gonna be. I know where they're gonna try to route through. Ending this battle with multiple Yari Ashigaru units to have 5 experience or more. We have one at like 8. And a Yari Ashigaru takes the crown for having the most kills. Not a matchlock Ashigaru though. To be fair, that was from a horde of routing Naginata monks. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much, Winning 1149, for providing me with a save. I'll see y'all next time. Hop on into Discord to join in all the fun. Sub for more of these videos if you like them. Also, you can get yourself your very own Dishonorable Daimyo hat from Streamlabs merch store. You can find the link below in the description. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Bye bye.